Okay.
But that said, I think that it is not anything to hide from or run away from. The fact that since the current regime took on power, we have seen a number of appointments. And this thing started with the issue of appointing cabinet secretaries, appointing principal secretaries, then appointing CAS members, and now we are seeing it in the parastatals. And it's not something to run away from. And the reason I'm saying it's not something to run away from is in the fact that media has picked it, the church community has picked the fact that there is skewed appointments, the general public has picked there's a skewed appointment. And for me, my comments would be very simple on this. You know, when the regime that we have today took over office, they have got a moral obligation to be able to protect the gains that we have made as a country. Because we are a country that have come from a point whereby we've seen this kind of nepotic and tribal appointments in public service bringing our country down. And this is factual to the extent that 2007, 2008, when we look at the Waki Commission, the Waki Commission report says that one of the biggest reasons that we had the massive fight that we saw in Kenya is the idea that the public service in Kenya was revolving around the presidency. The idea that tribes believed that if you are around the presidency, then you have got more chance of succeeding economically. And the problem was then that a number of tribes, about 2 or 3, were the people who were dominating the public service. And it is critical that the Constitution, you know, the articles that you're referring to in the Constitution was brought into bear because of that particular assessment, that tribalism and nepotism in public service is killing our social strata to the extent that some people feel marginalized, some people feel left out. Trevor, I am in Finance and Budget Committee. And one of the problems with this kind of appointment and executive systemic marginalization is that in 1965, there was an executive order paper, number 10, that just basically chose to marginalize 14 counties that we have today and say that they don't need and they don't have the capacity to participate in our national economic fabric. And to the extent that those counties up to today still have got higher chances of their kids not succeeding, of their women not succeeding because of this systemic marginalization. And this is one of those. And I want just to caution that it's a very dangerous thing for the country because this will have impact going forward into the future. Yeah. And just to finish, I don't think that there are when we talk about issue of competency, then it just means that the people who are from particular tribes are the ones who are competent. I believe that even if you go to the Turkana people or if you go to the Pokot people, you can't lack some people who have just had basic education and basic knowledge on some of these parastatals. Yeah. So it's very critical to ensure inclusivity and diversity so that there is a lot of transparency in managing public institutions. But